what SBOM does. Maintain transparency about security practices, support vulnerabilities. Vulnerabilities are also part of SBOM, so it not only tracks the versions and licensing and the ownership of the packages, but also can bind together those components with specific vulnerabilities that are, registered in any of the vulnerability exposure databases. So this is kind of the pipeline for this EU Cyber Resilience Act to be, to become active. And currently, what we know, it's still shaping. So some SBOM requirements are still being worked out. But it kind of says, and we can expect that we will need to produce SBOMs and ship with the releases starting December 2027, right? So that's within 2 years. There are some notes that kind of we might not need to produce SBOM for all of the software that we kind of build, but we just should follow the law and see how it shapes down and what specific requirements we will have. But the fact is that obviously the change will come and we'll need to adapt in some sort of way. So regarding the SBOM specifics, there are two commonly known formats. One is created by Linux Foundation, so it's software package definition exchange, SPDX, and the CycleIndex format, which is OWASP's Foundation's kind of project. And while the one focuses more on compliance regarding regulations, licensing, the other focuses on, I think, kind of key things that we are after, security-focused approach, so it maps the vulnerabilities together with the components. So, library, the version, the owner, and vulnerabilities. So that's what we need. That's, I think, the key benefit of having it. So, to add it to your CI/CD pipeline, probably that's what it would look like. So when you do a commit, push it to the Git repository, either it's GitLab, GitHub, whatever. Do the SBOM generation. That can be done by some tools. There are not a lot of them, but there are some that are actually the key tools that you will find when you search how to generate SBOM. So one is dependency track, which is made by OWASP. There is a SIFT made by Anchor. CycleIndex tools, you can find those easily as well. Trivi by Security, and there is one which I kind of know quite personally, SBOM SH, which was made by Code Notary. I used to provide consulting services for the past couple of years for that company, so quite nice experience, and it's free of use. So you can just access the website and point it to your GitHub repository, for example, if it's public, and use that to generate SBOM. And after you generate, obviously you need to validate if there are some sort of vulnerabilities. Obviously you wouldn't care for all of them, because usually if you run a security scanner you would get a lot of results, a lot of low-level vulnerabilities, but that's depending on your policy, how you actually manage security within your software delivery lifecycle. You might track and fix only the high severity vulnerabilities and then just move forward. So that's depending how you do that. Just to summarize it before we go into some technical things. So SBOM will kind of add inventory for your dependencies. So you need to choose the right tools. What you would like to work with, what integrates nicely in your environment, in your tooling infrastructure that you have already. You need to implement that into your pipeline. and also react on that, react on the results. If that's just into the pipeline and you do nothing, just see the report, okay, it's very red, it's bad, just push it further. So it's not enough, right? So yeah, now I'm gonna try to actually show you a quick demo of how that looks in reality. Let's see how it works. I use Cursor here, that's AI editor, there's a Windsurf as well. Who is using any of those? Windsurf users? Two? Cursor? I see that a lot of you don't know what are these maybe or haven't used, so just make sure you actually try to use that because it helps a lot actually. I'm not, as I said, I'm not a developer, I'm a security engineer I would say. So I like to write code, I like Python, but it helps a lot. So,
Kristaps, can you zoom in?
yeah, I will try to zoom in. So I have some notes, so I'm quicker. So here I simply have some project. So it's AI generated, it works, it has backend code. It has, yeah, backend is in Python, the front end is in, I think, in React.js, so it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna try now to generate SBOM for my backend code actually, and see what's in there, how bad it is, because it was created a couple of weeks ago by AI. So a lot of developers nowadays actually use AI to generate new code, or to add a code, new code to the existing code base. So let's see actually how bad or how good the results are. So let's, yeah, so I'm gonna open a terminal. I'm gonna zoom in so you can see. And I simply use Trivi for this case, and I'm just, with this command, I'm just doing the vulnerability scan, because Trivi can do both. It can generate SBOM, but it can also do quick vulnerability scan to actually show you in standard output in terminal how those components that you have look in terms of security. So once we actually do that, it's quite ugly now, but I'm going to zoom out so you see the big picture, and then we can zoom back in once again. So it's something like that. So it says it found 26 vulnerabilities. There are high vulnerabilities in the list, some CVEs. So these are the references for the specific vulnerabilities that are in the vulnerability exchange database, is available public. And there's a status if that vulnerability is fixed, if it has a fix in some recent versions, and you get those version numbers actually here, so it's quite helpful. At least you can check what high severity vulnerabilities you have, how many of those, and fix in some specific version. Obviously, the upgrading process can be challenged, but anyways, that's thing. The way how you can do that, and there's a lot of those, some dependencies here on the right side, and then the severity, then the versions, and some links to actually where you can find, what is that, how bad it is. All right, so now we are going to generate the actual SBOM and see how that looks. I'm going to zoom back in. So I'm going to use, once again, the Trivi. I'm going to choose SBOM format cyclone.dx because it will contain, and it can contain by its format vulnerabilities as well. And I'm going to output that to the JSON file because the output of the Trivi SBOM generation is the JSON, which is easily parsable afterwards. So I think it's done. And you get something like this. So you get quite a long list of JSON. I don't know how many lines there are actually. Uh, 3,000 lines, so 3,000 lines, quite a lot. But the structure is like this. So you have some, metadata, when it was generated, what kind of format it is, and then you have a list of components. So we have 3D here in this directory. Then we have, requirements.txt. Then in the requirements.txt it has other dependencies, and now you can see actually these packages. So the package with the version, I don't see here the owner. That's depending if you can find the owner of the package actually, but it still kind of shows where it came from and what kind of version it is, what kind of additional parameters. You know, the SBOM format, it's kind of those two formats, they are not inner compatible with each other, and there's still community fighting what will be the common format of the SBOM and how we can actually make it compatible with all the other integrations, because the structure is quite, I would say, messed. You can add custom fields usually as well, so probably it could be useful when you are integrating that into the pipeline and you want to add some pipeline attributes, what kind of version in your pipeline it refers to, and other things, right? Also, if you search for vulnerabilities, you'll find those as well, which will refer to specific versions of the packages. So it's quite unreadable. So what to do next with this mess? So I thought, and there was actually one master degree student who did her master thesis this year in Vidzeme University, and she had an idea actually to convert this meshed structure to something standardized, which was a JUnit XML test report. So each vulnerability in SBOM could be transferred to a failed test case, and then you can actually show that in your pipeline process as a blocker, right? So I asked actually AI to help me to generate a converter in Python, so we can actually see how it works. So so it's a simple file. I just pass my SBOM. I'm already in backend folder, so I'm gonna back up to a previous folder. So I'm passing my SBOM JSON in the backend, and I output that to vuln test XML, and it also gives me summaries, what it found. So 10 high-level vulnerabilities, 3 low-level vulnerabilities, and 13 medium-level vulnerabilities, or test cases, failed test cases. So once I have that, I can actually check how that looks, but it's still kind of not very human readable. It's XML, it contains a lot of test case definitions, so it's still not readable for the human. So I went further to actually convert that JUnit test report into HTML, which is nicely formed. And for that, I actually ended up with something like this. That's exact report matching the XML that you saw there. And here we can actually see something, what we can translate. So total vulnerabilities, 10 critical, 30 medium, 3 low, and then with all the description, recommendation, affected components, which could be quite useful. And still you can use the JUnit test report to fail the pipeline, right? If that's required. So that's how it is. Obviously you can, that's custom script, I can share that with you if you're interested, but also you could use a thing that is called Allure. So Allure kind of understands, Allure reports understand the format of the JUnit test report and can generate visualization automatically. So maybe that's something that you want to use if you want to stick to some more standardized approaches. So let's generate that, and we actually need to run a web server. I think it's a web server to display the report, and it's something like this, right? So again, 26 test cases. You can switch categories. Here we can find all the CVEs, the vulnerabilities found, but it's not very, intuitive, and it doesn't directly point to our libraries. So it's not that good as I would like to actually. Oh, here actually, here we can find, we can navigate through the suite and selecting the CVE, and but if you would like to get it, view it faster, I think this approach is could be better. Yeah. So yeah, that's how you would do it. It's nothing very complex, quite trivial, but you need to find the time and build it into your process of software delivery pipeline, right? So only then you can implement better security. So I would like to finalize with this thing. It's also AI generated. ChatGPT is getting better with these things. So regarding the laws and regulations, we know that we have all the compliance things that we need to comply to. But think about analogy for the winter tires. So we don't put winter tires on our car because there's a law that we need to drive winter tires. We want to be safe, right? It's also about eating the cake and making sure our stomachs are feeling safe. So same is for the software. So let's try to implement more secure. I don't want to say more secure software, but I want to say more secure way of thinking. That's I think more appropriate. So not just the software. So all right, I think that's it from my end, and the time is around half an hour. So thanks a lot. Yes.
Yeah, so firstly, I can definitely confirm about the different requirements that are happening, and we experienced that in our company too, that especially I think customers which are banks are now started requiring SBOM together with the dependencies and vulnerability list, and even results of static code analysis delivered together with the releases to them. And while the SBOM generation works really well for the package managed systems like Python and Node.js within PM, where we, I guess, have a problem is with operating system level packages like installing Python itself, Node.js or database, and we need to kind of also provide SBOM for them, and this is like we cannot find the proper tools. Maybe you have any suggestions about it?
Not without custom implementations. I don't think it's possible without custom implementations, but there are some things that are scanning Docker images, for example. You could scan the system packages on Ubuntu. There's a package manager, so you can list all the packages, their versions, and then convert it to a compatible format from where you can then bind them together with the vulnerability exchange databases or the vulnerabilities and see how we're doing.
So basically, we need to do it ourselves.
No,
More-
if you're in clouds, you just pick it like ECR advanced scanner. It gives you a SBOM out of the box. If you are cloud-based, if you're not software.
Does it help for custom VMs on the cloud as well? Or yeah?
Yes. Everything you upload in ECR in Amazon works fine.
Mhm.
Very annoying. Very many critical vulnerabilities.
So ECR Elastic Container Registry, but if you run EC2, for example, EC2 instance, then...
They now advanced also, right?
Mhm. Okay, so there are some solutions for... I guess it's specific to cloud providers. I think we're speaking about Amazon, so they're
Yeah.
doing a lot. I'm not sure if Google, GCP is
No, they
that
don't
good,
have it.
so they don't have that probably. The DigitalOcean, the Hetzner, so there are a lot of cloud providers, so some of them, I think Amazon is one of the key providers. They're certified, they are way ahead of others, so regarding a lot of things.
I have a question. More to the process. If you're like a consultant, so say we have a SBOM and vulnerability check in our pipelines.
Mhm.
Where would you suggest for CISO to come in, to step in and like take control over what we are passing to the release and what we are blocking? I mean, during the testing phase or even, not releasing to testing. How would you, as a consultant, think about this?
So I mentioned previously that we spoke about the responsibilities. QA, developer, security engineer, CISO, which is the management level I would consider. So I think it starts with the developer. So I would, as a consultant, say and implement maybe a policy or a procedure that asks the developer actually before they commit the code to the Git, they actually run the simple vulnerability scan, and high risk vulnerabilities shouldn't be ever at all. Yeah. So, but I guess I think it would be a good practice to implement a multi-layer approach. If one layer fails, yes, today there's no vulnerability. Tomorrow there's going to be, right?
Absolutely.
And then the next stage is,
Developers are too busy delivering features.
I know they're feature-focused people, so I don't blame them because there's always a rush to deliver, and so on. But
who thinks security?
If you think about security, the more slow the process is, the more secure it might be.
Thank you.
I have a question. Why mess SBOM with security? Because GitHub has great tools automatically in your branch, check all vulnerabilities and even suggest if it's possible, if exists newer version automatically, and you don't need to invent anything. Anyways, you develop in your branch.
Mm-hmm.
So you push it and you have automatic and you see how much it is, and it's visible for all teams. Again, if you like to see all teams, all team members. I see no reason mixed together two separate things. SBOM is a requirement and it should stay as a requirement. Security is separate and should be done separately. After all, GitHub do it very well. It has multiple tools which automatically tell you if it's possible fix or for some reason package is no longer supported or removed from NPM and you need to replace it with something else.
Yeah, you're right. And obviously, you shouldn't stop using GitHub security implementations, but SBOM is meant to be shared. So it's about sharing it along with your software that you deliver, and it kind of tends to go, to become a standard that everyone understands.
The question is about SBOM is the description of packages.
Together with the vulnerabilities based on the CycloneDX specification.
You mentioned two.
SPDX and CycloneDX.
Yes. And why mix two things together? It's no point. Security is separate, you need to fix it in time, and in GitHub it's visible for everyone.
Maybe some others have opinions on this.
Yeah, if you ship a package, not a ready-to-go software, if you ship a package to someone, maybe it's not in GitHub, you need to provide some documentation to that, and
That's different, but again, if you push through the GitHub, you have your security there already.
Yeah, yeah.
But on the operating level, on the OS level, you don't. You don't see the next layer, the next step in
Yes.
the production, in the delivery. And as SBOM combines everything, you know, the application level vulnerabilities and dependencies, the OS level, everything. SBOM is like final. No?
And you don't need to mix that together. You don't need to mix a catalog of ingredients together with the security, but the catalog of the components, that's the key thing of the SBOM. Security is what you can add on top of that. But you can, you know, how you can link those things. But you don't need to do that if you don't want. Kind of.
Again, opponent about security thing, because if you deliver to cloud, in most cases you deliver software as service, so all security problems is whatever where you deploy it, in Amazon or somewhere else, it's their problem, because you're responsible for only for your
no. Oh no! Oh no!
Okay,
There is no solution in the cloud which, you know, you pay and you're 100% secure, even in cloud. Even Amazon now declines the serverless solutions. The serverless solutions need to be penetration tested now, because they don't want to take this as their responsibility. Although, don't believe cloud will save you security-wise, no.
No, it's not about saying, it's about putting documentation for client.
Anyways, it's now not your obligation to put link vulnerabilities to the SBOM. You're kind of, what the Cybersecurity Act says, your responsibility is to ship a list of components, and then that can be taken by your clients and to bind that with the security, you know, vulnerabilities, and see if your product is secure. That's for them. It's kind of way to do that. Maybe the only way. So, I don't know.
Next question.
Quite a discussion, yeah.
Oh, it's a painful. It's really becomes very painful now. This one.
Has anyone implemented something of that into your existing pipelines already?
I'm trying.
Trying.
I'm trying. CTO don't understand me why. Why do we need this?
And that's
okay.
and that's the biggest challenge now, or there's a different challenge to?
No. I mean, the biggest issue is, you know, not to basically invest more delay to the delivery, right? And this is a huge step in delaying everybody automatically.
Yeah. Yeah. You're blocking us, right? What are you doing? Why?
Just update your code base each release. But it's fine. Somebody works with Java 11 or something. Still, no problem.
Works on
Everything
my
works. I mean, everything works. Why not? Yeah.
So maybe I missed this part, but as I understand, this tool can detect vulnerabilities, you call it, but can it detect some security related issues, for example, leaked database keys or something?
It scans for secrets as well, and configuration,
Yeah.
misconfigurations, it's part of it.
And can I, for example, create some blocking push or pull rules if, for example, I am hard-coding credentials in some configuration?
Yeah, it's a command line tool, as you saw. You can bind it to your git push hooks and it will work.
Okay.
Thank you for the question.